in the main event, this is actually the main event. This is not going to be me being like, hey, main event Roxanne Modafferi. No, this is actually the main event. Obviously, the different main event that we were originally supposed to have. We were supposed to have Leon Edwards versus.
It's like kind of the main event.
Well, it's probably the highest ranking matchup on the entire fight card. So in terms of that main event, that's what you got. It's Michael Chiesa plus 115 versus Neil Magny minus 135. Mikey Gills, tell me about the cheesy one versus, I don't know. I got nothing for Neil Magny.
Yeah. Right away, like, I don't want to call this a disrespect pick because it's not, but I've never believed in Michael Chiesa. Just like I've heard people going like, oh, this guy, like, he's really good, blah, blah, blah. I've never really seen it.
He sucks.
His striking is not very good, and that might even be kind. He's supposedly a great grappler. He's been submitted multiple times in his career. It was like Masvidal, Lee, Pettis. I know he argues against the Lee one, but I mean, for Christ's sake, he wasn't even defending the choke. Get out of here with your I was holding on to it thing. But not just that, I mean, his cardio is questionable. It's a 5-round fight. This guy has had questionable cardio in 3-round fights. I don't magically think it's going to get better. And like, yeah, you could say that, oh, he was cutting down to 155. Now he's not. He's going to be less depleted. I have to see that first. And then on the other side, though, you got Neil Magny. I've seen this guy go at least 3 rounds strong as hell, like against Robbie Lawler. He's very competent on the ground, on the feet, taller, longer, better striker. He's just better everywhere, I think. I don't see this. I don't even know what the odds are for this fight. Maybe one of you guys can tell me real quick, but I feel like Neil Magny should be a pretty big favorite in this. And
Moderate favorite.
Moderate? Really?
Minus 135. Nothing crazy.
Really? Okay. Well, if that translates to DraftKings, that's going to be something like an 83, 8,400. I would jump on that all day on DraftKings. I'm hoping it's lower than that, but I think this is Magny's fight easy. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, this is Magny's fight easy, bro. I bet Neil Magny versus Kelvin Gastelum in Mexico City, 5-round fight. One of the only guys who bet Neil Magny to beat Kelvin Gastelum in that match. Chiesa's wrestling is not going to be even close to as good as Kelvin Gastelum. So what's he going to do to Neil then? Neil's striking's better. It's only getting better over time. He's longer. He's got a crazy reach on him. He's got really explosive knees. He's kind of like a gazelle when he springs and loads and gets going. I also, Neil Magny's ground game, ever since he lost to Damian Maia, he went specifically to Damian Maia and went to go train with him and learn some things from him because he was just so surprised on how easily he got manhandled. That's the type of things that real champions do. They're not scared to go with someone they lost to and go and learn the things that they were scared to do or scared to implement in their game plan. So Neil Magny, man, I just don't see how in a 5-round fight Michael Chiesa is going to do absolutely anything to Neil Magny. 5 rounds, Neil Magny will be there for all 5 rounds. I guarantee it. There's no way in hell that Michael Chiesa is putting out Neil Magny in a submission. So I just where's he got an edge, you know? So Neil Magny is going to run here. He's going to win this main event and show everyone in the world that Michael Chiesa is just a little bit it's not up the upper echelon.
One thing you both mentioned, and that's probably the biggest factor in this fight, is 5 rounds. You have Neil Magny for 5 rounds. He has consistent, high-level output, was willing to strike at distance, is pretty good on the ground for 5 straight rounds. Obviously, that's not Chiesa. Chiesa does not have the gas to that kind of output for 5 rounds. Neil Magny has cardio for days. It's utterly ridiculous. Dude never slows down whatsoever. Yeah. But the weirdest thing about, like as you said, Chiesa's ground game isn't great, except when it is. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I've never seen somebody go from like getting in a ridiculous sub to landing a ridiculous sub on someone that he should never be subbing out. Like, he has the weirdest, like, his offensive everything on the ground is awesome. His defensive everything on the ground is terrible. It doesn't make sense to me. I would feel like if you were that good at the offense, like, I'm flat out here. First of all, this is a main event, so we're not betting it. Second of all, I don't bet Michael Chiesa fights because dude has cost me so much money over time of all of these matchups that I'm just like, he's been losing me money since Tough Live. When he beat Iaquinta, he cost me money. when he beat, like, I could probably go down a list of like, so this was one of the times that at one point I was just like, nope, never again. But like, there's been plenty of times where he has cost me money. He cost me money against Iaquinta. He cost me money against Francisco Trinaldo. He cost me money against Jim Miller and Benel Dariush. He cost me money against. So needless to say, I don't bet anything. Yeah, exactly. Ryan Richardson, Mr. Kick Your Bass. This is the main event.
Well, the main event doesn't always go on last.
Yeah,
You can make
it's disgusting.
Well, honestly, this is the sandwiched event in two great events. Like, honestly, the one this Saturday that we already covered. So by all means, if you're listening to this now and you're like, hey, why are they talking about the next Wednesday card and not this coming Saturday? We already covered it on episode 71. This is episode 72, but by all means go back, unless you want the DraftKings stuff. That was on the earlier part of this episode. That stuff's a little staggered because DraftKings lineups aren't out for a lot of them, and we're just trying to space it out so we pretty much have like one show per fight card. That way we can go as in-depth as possible. Yeah, I know. I said wow too when this was the main event.
Well, I was saying that Connor is such a big star. Some fighters have an undercard. He has under events. So
yeah,
we're
dedicating all next week to the Connor show, baby. We want to see Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier.
Well, that's the hard thing, because anytime they've ever done these 3 event cards, because usually what they would do before it was Fight Island, packing in fight cards and trying to get a cushion in events because they couldn't fight for so long. Before it was like they would have International Fight Week, which was the big Saturday pay-per-view. Then they, on Friday or Sunday, depending, they would have like the tough finale of the end of that whatever show. And they may or may not have another fight card from them, or maybe Invicta would have one that they would stream on Fight Pass, something like that. But they would do 3 to 4 events in a week, which is utterly ridiculous. And this is the same way. But there's always going to be at least one event that is obviously lackluster. And this one even has somewhat of a lackluster main event. No offense to both guys. They're main card fighters. They're not, whether they have headlined a fight card or not, they are not headliners. So sorry to attack them in that way. But it's what it is. But hey, I'm picking Magny too with no bet whatsoever because main events.
yeah. Also, I was looking through this the Chiesa record real quick. Since the 2 losses to Lee and Pettis, 2 of the 3 fighters he faced were Carlos Condit and Diego Sanchez. So
and he couldn't finish Diego Sanchez.
Hey,
Let's not bring up Diego Sanchez after I wrecked him last week.
Fair enough.
That's fair.